Ninth inning in Pittsburgh. Mets down 2-1. Changes for the Pirates. Yasmani Grandal comes in to catch. He'll bat third. Jack Sawinski, who pinch hits, stays in the game in right field. And 36-year-old Aroldis Chapman on to try and save it.
Well, the man with the blazing fastball when he first came up for a long time. But he's not the same pitcher he used to be. But
well, now he throws splitters and sinkers and sliders in addition to that 100-mile-plus fastball. Francisco Alvarez, first man to face him in the ninth. And he takes a slider for a strike, 0-1. Alvarez had a double to right center his last time up in the seventh against Carmen Mlodzinski. Colin Holderman gave up the run in the eighth, but he's now pitcher of record on the long side. And that's on the outside corner, a strike. Back-to-back sliders from Chapman, and it's 0-2.
Boy, both down in the strike zone.
Chapman, the fill-in closer these days, with all-star David Bednar on the injured list. 0-2 coming. And it's upstairs at 102 miles an hour. He can still bring it. Chapman has 324 major league saves, including 3 this year. Harrison Bader, the on-deck batter. Fastball fouled away. Mets have had some success against Chapman over the years. But when he's right, he's still just about untouchable. Only 2 active pitchers have more saves than Chapman, Craig Kimbrell and Kenley Jansen. And a foul tip in and out of the mitt of Grandal. And the at-bat continues.
Oh, boy, that's a break there.
Looked like Grandal had it right in the middle of the mitt.
It just overpowered. They got it in the webbing.
So another chance for Alvarez with the count 1-2. And he watches the splitter low and away, and it's 2-2. Bader on deck. Vientos behind him as the Mets try to rebound. Scoreless game until the 8th. Nimmo's RBI double put the Mets in front, but Diaz gave up the go-ahead hit to Nick Gonzalez, and now the Mets try to respond in the 9th. 2-2 to Alvarez, and it's just off the corner at 101 miles an hour. Full count.
It missed.
This is what has happened with Alvarez over the course of this season. The ability to lay off those tough pitches with 2 strikes.
Become a really good 2-strike hitter.
Now it's 3-2. And he walked him. A terrific turn at bat for Francisco Alvarez. And the Mets have the go-ahead run at first, and Ben Gamel will run for Alvarez. So after Alvarez almost struck out, Grandal unable to hold his foul tip. He laid off some pitches just out of the strike zone to draw the walk, and now Harrison Bader will try and make something of it. Bader had a double and a sacrifice fly last night, was out of the starting lineup today because his neck was still acting up, but well enough to come in late for defense, and now getting a turn at bat. And he takes a strike on the outside edge. Or was it a ball?
They called it a ball.
Yep, ball 1. Bader has a hit in his only career at bat against Chapman. Hayes right on the line at third, right near the bag. And it's fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gamble at first, not taking a very big lead. Chapman throwing over. I mean, he was literally 2 steps off the bag. One and one to Bader. Up and away with a fastball. 2-1. opposing base stealers have stolen 9 bases against Chapman this year, but he's also picked 4 runners off this year.
Well, he's long going home. Got the big leg kick.
So if you guess right, you can get the stolen base. And that slider runs inside. And now it's 3-1 to Bader. So after walking the leadoff hitter, Chapman's put himself in a tough spot. Vientos in the on-deck circle. (3-1) coming to Bader. And he pops one foul, back it out of play. Harrison Bader has been a big late inning hitter for the Mets. From the 8th inning on, Bader this year is hitting .328. And a lot of those hits have come in big spots. Gamble at first, 3-2 with nobody out. Not going, and the throw over. So now that's 2 throws over by Chapman. Does that change the equation on whether Gamble runs?
God, it's an awful big risk. You're down a run. I wouldn't run.
Chapman still strikes people out, just not at the rate he used to. 3-2 coming to Bader, not going, and it's foul back. High fastball. I mean, there was a time in his career where his strikeouts per 9 were up over 17.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was electric.
He's still at 14.6 this year, which is a lot of strikeouts. So it's a big gamble if you run. Another 3-2 coming to Bader. And Harrison lines one into center field for a base hit. Gamble takes the turn at second and stops there. And the Mets have the first 2 men on in the 9th. Another big late inning hit for Harrison Bader.
Stayed right with it. Had Chapman at 3-2. Didn't want to walk. Look at that level swing right there. Right on that fastball.
So now a chance for Mark Vientos with the tying run at second and the potential go-ahead run at first. Vientos is 1 for 3 today at a base hit in the 3rd. Since then, he struck out and grounded out. And the first pitch slider backdoors for a strike, 0-1. Luis Torrens is out on deck to bat for Jeff McNeil to give the Mets a right-handed bat against Chapman. Gamble at second, Bader at first. And Vientos fouls off a slider, and it's 0-2. Vientos facing Chapman for the first time.
It's not a great slider that Chapman throws. Has a little bit, tiny break. But, you know, you're so much expecting that fastball.
Tried to dot the outside corner and missed. 1-2.
Good eye outside.
Let me correct myself. Vientos does have 1 at bat against Chapman. In fact, he homered in his only at bat against Chapman. Torrens on deck to pinch hit. 1-2 coming to Vientos. And he laid off another slider, and it's 2-2. Torrens ready to bat for McNeil. Iglesias behind him. And still have Tyrone Taylor left in the dugout as well. 2-2 coming. And he lays off a high one, and it's 3-2. So after Chapman got ahead on Vientos 0-2, Vientos able to work it to a full count, much the way Alvarez did earlier in the inning.
Can't get his secondary pitches over. That was a fastball.
.20 pitches deep in this inning and still looking for his first out. Chapman dealing 3-2. First a look back at second as Gamble goes diving back in. Three and 2 to Mark Vientos. And he takes the backdoor slider for strike 3 call. Terrific pitch by Chapman for the first out.
Right there, Gare, outside corner, knee high, pitcher's pitch.
So 1 out. And now Luis Torrens, who had the big hit for the Mets yesterday, a 3-run double, will be the pinch hitter batting for McNeil with the tying and go-ahead runs on base and 1 out.
Got 2 little spark plug hitters, little line drive, tough strikeout hitters, back to back, and Torrens and Iglesias.
Torrens had a 3-hit day yesterday to raise his average to 317.
These are the kind of pinch hitters you want late when a single is all you need.
Most pitches that Chapman has thrown in the game this year is 27. He's already thrown 21 in this inning. Walked Alvarez. Gamble ran for him. Bader got the base hit on a 3-2 pitch. Great pitch to strike out Vientos, and now here's Torrens. And he takes a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Neal went 0 for 3 today and struck out twice.
Kind of question that 100-mile-an-hour gun. I mean, he's not throwing as hard as he used to.
The time when he threw 105.
Back door.
That one's on the corner. Same pitch he threw to Vientos to strike him out, and now it's 0-2 to Torrens.
He's been ahead of everybody in this inning, and hasn't been only been able to close the door on Vientos.
Went to a 3-2 count on each of his first 3 hitters. Now he's ahead on Torrens 0-2. Iglesias on deck. And Torrens takes strike 3 call. Fastball got him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chapman, and the Mets are down to their final out.
I wonder what he was looking for. Fastball right down the pipe.
So it's left to Jose Iglesias. 2 on, 2 out. Top of the 9th, 2-1 Pittsburgh.
And let's not forget Iglesias with runners in scoring position.
Iglesias 1 for 3 today. And he takes a splitter low and away for ball 1.
8 for 17 with runners in scoring position.
And a single to center field against Holderman in the 8th, then was caught stealing. So 2 balls hard today. Gamble at second, Bader at first with 2 out. And he fouls back the fastball. Almost went down to a knee.
He did go down to a knee. He does that a lot. The outfield, Gary, defensively, Slawinski way on the right field line, but pretty much straight up center and left. Big gap in right center.
1-1 to Iglesias. And he fouls back the fastball, and now the Mets are down to their final strike. If Iglesias could keep it going, Francisco Lindor would be next. One-two coming. And it's well outside. 2-2 to Iglesias. Iglesias 0 for 1 in his career against Chapman. Gamble the tying run at second. Bader at first. 2 out, 2 on, 2-2 to Iglesias. And he got a piece of the fastball to stay in the at-bat.
Yeah, he's a battler. Tough strikeout. Chapman's got that fastball that runs away to the right-hand hitter. I haven't seen him try to pop one inside.
Again, the 2-2. In the dirt, and to third goes Gamble. Short, wild pitch. Blocked by Grandal, but Gamble moves to third.
Really a good block right there.
5th batter of the inning for Chapman. His 4th full count. He's already thrown a season-high 30 pitches. Francisco Lindor is on deck. Bader will be running from first. Gamble the tying run at third. 3-2 to Iglesias. And he whacks one foul on a 102-mile-an-hour fastball. And Chapman will have to do it again.
He's going to have to pop him inside, or he's going to be in trouble. Iglesias is really in up the middle mode right here. Tough strikeout.
8th pitch of the at bat to Iglesias. And it's ball 4. He missed low, and the bases are loaded for Lindor. Boy, the Mets have put together some great at bats against Chapman in this inning.
Look at the reaction of Iglesias there. He really battled. He's such a competitor.
So it comes down to Lindor, who has a single, a double, and a walk today. He's 1 for 5 in his career against Chapman. Bases loaded, 2 out, top of the 9th. Mets down by a run, and Lindor asked for time before Chapman can throw his first pitch.
I think he didn't get time. He said, "I'm not ready to hit." Umpire made the 2 fingers to the eyes, so I don't think he was charged with a timeout.
Gamble at third, Bader the go-ahead run at second, Iglesias at first with 2 down. And Lindor takes fastball low and in for ball 1. It's the first time in the inning that Chapman has not been able to throw a first pitch strike. He must be running on fumes now, about to throw his 34th pitch of the inning. And Lindor takes the backdoor slider for a strike, and it's 1-1. That's been his best pitch.
It has been. It's been kind of his bailout pitch.
That's the one he got Vientos on for his first out. Now it's 1-1 to Lindor. And Francisco lines one into left field for a base hit. Gamble is in. Here comes Bader. He will score, and the Mets take the lead. Francisco Lindor with his 3rd hit of the day drives in the tying and go-ahead runs, and the Mets lead 3-2 in the 9th. Big time hit for Lindor with the Mets down to their final out, and they jump back in front in the 9th.
Slider, tried to get a slider in. And Lindor covered. That's got to feel good for Francisco. That's big time.
RBIs number 44 and 45. Bader scoring easily with the go-ahead run. Now Nimmo will try and tack on. And Brandon almost got hit by a first pitch fastball. It was Nimmo who drove in the first run of this game in the 8th with a double to left center before the Pirates rallied against Diaz and took the lead in the bottom of the 8th. Now the Mets have the lead in the 9th. And it's inside to Nimmo. Now the question is, can Diaz right the ship in the bottom of the 9th after giving up a walk and 2 hard-hit balls in the 8th? 2-0 to Nimmo with 2 on and 2 out. And Brandon takes up and in, and now it's ball 3. They're going to get somebody up behind Chapman. It's Kyle Nicholas. Chapman by far his highest pitch count of the year. This will be his 39th pitch of the inning. 3-0 to Nimmo, and he takes a strike. J.D. Martinez would be next.
Well, the bench very much a part of this come from behind here. Bader with a big hit.
Iglesias at second, Lindor at first, and a walk to Nimmo loads up the bases. 40 pitches in the inning for Chapman, and that's going to be all he throws. Derek Shelton will come out to get him. Chapman walks his 3rd batter of the inning. Iglesias had the clutch walk with 2 outs to load him up for Lindor, who drove in the tying and go-ahead runs. And so both Diaz and Chapman blowing saves in this game. The Mets have taken the lead and looking for more now as the Pirates go to the bullpen. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Chapman gave up the lead in the top of the 9th.
Well, a lot of really phenomenal at-bats. The leadoff walk from Alvarez was very similar to the walk that Iglesias got to set up Lindor. Both battled.
Lindor with the big hit to give the Mets the lead. Now J.D. Martinez trying to increase the lead before Diaz goes back to the mound. Diaz hasn't thrown a pitch in almost 25 minutes. And Martinez takes the first slider out of the strike zone, so Nicholas in a spot where he absolutely has to throw strikes. And he has averaged 5.1 walks per 9 innings this year. And now it's
we got
a call strike. Generous call from Nick Marley.
Very
1-1.
Very generous call.
Chapman threw 40 pitches. It's the 3rd most he has thrown in a game and the most since 2015. And it wore on him. 2-1 now to Martinez, who's the 8th man up in the inning. Pete Alonso would be next. And there's Adam Ottavino. And I would be really tempted to go to Ottavino after the length of time that Diaz has had to sit. See what Carlos Mendoza decides to do. Big hit here would change everything. That's a good pitch backed up on the inside, and Martinez now 2-2. Diaz got hit hard in the 8th inning, and now he's sat for quite some time. 2-2. Fouled away into the netting. Well, this was a scoreless game for the first 7 innings. Mets broke the ice in the 8th. Pirates took the lead in the bottom of the 8th, and the Mets have regained it in the top of the 9th. Iglesias at 3rd, Lindor at 2nd, Nimmo at 1st with 2 down. And there's ball 3, blocked by Grandal to prevent a wild pitch.
That's a pitch I don't think Nicholas wanted to throw. I could just read the body language. He had no confidence in throwing a slider for a strike.
So now the merry-go-round will be in motion. Iglesias, Lindor, and Nimmo will all be running. Martinez trying to snap an 0 for 12 stretch. He walked his last time up. 3-2 coming. And JD hits it on the ground right at the shortstop Cruz. And he makes the running toss on target to end the inning. But the Mets grab the lead on Francisco Lindor's 2-out bases loaded hit. It's 3-2.